Yes, sir. The past three seasons, I know Liberty, Pittsburgh, last year was Carolina, and then you've, I think, three games this year. You've kind of rallied late or pulled out, maybe even improbable wins. What are the characteristics about your team that you think that have led to them getting those victories, even in situations where maybe it didn't look like they would?
Well, I think it starts with just faith, in what we do. I think there's a love here between the players and coaches, and a grit, a resiliency, a belief system, a culture that quitting is not an option, period. And our guys know that. And no matter what, we're going to play till the last second on the clock expires. And to me, losing a game is one thing, quitting in a game, I don't think I could coach on that team, and so something that last 2 years, we've done some remarkable things in the fourth quarter. We have. And that says a lot about the character of these young men and the culture that we've built.
David.
Hey, Dave. We saw on the depth chart that MJ is listed as QB1. Is the plan still for him to split snaps with Chambers going forward?
We haven't talked about it yet. He's the starter, and obviously we have the ability to play both, but haven't gotten into all that with the staff yet.
Corey.
Dave, from last week, Savion Jackson wasn't listed on the depth chart. Is there any status update for him?
Yeah, Savion's out for the year. Unfortunately, a knee injury that required surgery, and he'll be back healthy. But it was a season-ending deal. It happened up at Syracuse.
And follow up on that, how big of a deal is it to have a guy like CJ Clark back this season to be able to fill that void along with, some younger players?
Yeah, it's helpful. I mean, it's unfortunate for Savion, but to have someone like CJ that's been rotating and playing, and obviously Travali, takes on more now, and it'd be different, if you didn't have someone that's a returning starter, probably, as far as how you feel as a staff, just because we have experience behind experience in a couple positions, that being one of them. So that helped. It hurts the rotation, is where it really hurts you. When you're rotating Savion and CJ, it's a little different, so it puts a little bit more on those guys over the course of 4 games, just, probably 10 reps more apiece than they may have been playing. But I know CJ is excited about his opportunity, and Travali, and, the guys that'll get more.
James.
Yeah, Dave, you mentioned their offense earlier, Wake Forest. What is it that makes them so tough to defend with their scheme? And is there a position group you really look at going into a given game that's important against them?
Well, it depends on, what year you're playing them. Right now, it's the quarterback and the receivers Sam's playing so well. And not that he wasn't last year. He played really well last year too. But, he makes that thing go. The receivers they have are big guys that really catch the ball well, and he gives them a chance to make plays or earn PIs when he throws it up. And so that's the hardest part of it. If it would just be, hey, take away this receiver and they're one-dimensional, they've got a lot of good receivers, and they rotate guys in. Their running game's different just because of the timing of it. And so you have to be patient. You have to set edges, and you got to do your job. And sometimes the monotonous part of where is the ball, can hurt you. All of a sudden it bounces out and you didn't know he had it. You're not sure who's carrying it. So it's just the timing of it, along with the talent that they've recruited and developed on the perimeter.
And I wanted to
position groups go, they're all important, man. I mean, coverage and pass rush are together, so they're all important.
And I wanted to ask you about Aiden White. I know you guys recruited him out of high school as a defensive back, but he played a lot of receiver. Do you see those ball skills translate over for him at that position?
Yeah, you do. He's got really good ball skills. I think, as a secondary as a whole, we've worked really hard in that area. And Aiden's a natural ball catcher. Cyrus is a natural ball catcher. And then you've seen some other guys improve their ability to catch and track the football. But it helps when the guys you recruit are natural at that, and you don't have to teach them. Some of them literally played one way their whole life, and didn't get that opportunity. Some of these schools now don't play guys both ways anymore, you know, so kids don't get that same learning curve of being a two-way player in high school always that they used to.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Gibby,
Yeah, Dave, I imagine when MJ was third string at quarterback in practice, he wasn't probably getting the reps he is now. Just how important is it that he's getting the reps, more reps right now? And do you think that kind of translated in his performance on Thursday?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's hard to get 3 players ready, period. And talking about quarterbacks, it's an impossible thing to do. To MJ's credit, he would stand behind our offense, and he was very diligent about mental reps and going through the play on air behind Devin or behind Jack. And now he's getting the physical reps, you know, as you mentioned. So that's only going to, you know, accelerate his ability to function and do more within the system.
David,
You know, you mentioned MJ and then a guy like Terrell Timmons. Is that something where 2 young guys, you know, had time this season to really, you know, connect and work on the relationship, and then we see that play out against Virginia Tech?
You know, I'm not sure if I can answer that one accurately. I mean, Terrell's been on the scout team and MJ's been on the varsity field, you know, and so they haven't like been throwing the ball to each other every day. Now they hang out together, they're in the same recruiting class, and there's a friendship that may be part of that, David, you know, but the rep part of it's not accurate. Now in one-on-ones, they're with each other every day, but that's a, you know, 5 to 10 minute segment of practice. So yeah, I think Terrell's a really gifted ball catcher. I'm not sure if it mattered who's throwing it up there. Like he's going to go up and get it. He has that gift. And like I said last week, it's just trying to get him more and more reps so that, you know, you can trust that he's going to do the right things all the time. And he's working really hard at that. He's spending a lot of time, you know, on his own, just trying to pick up little nuances for a guy that wasn't here early, right? He didn't get here till summer too. So he's trying to play catch up still.
Chip,
Hey, Dave, you mentioned Peyton Wilson earlier in the game that he played the other night. For a guy with a lot of injuries and all the things he's gone through, how would you assess his season this year? And did he have to change anything in the way he played? I know he was always 100 miles per hour kind of guy.
Yeah, he is. I'm happy for him. First of all, you know, I think it's been a long journey for him. You know, I mean, his injury problem started in high school. And his final season, you know, he didn't get to play at all. So to see him healthy and playing the way he is makes me feel good. I'm happy for him and his family. I think he's learned how to practice smarter, Chip. You know, he still runs like he does during the game, but the contact piece he's learned, you know, he doesn't have to run over somebody all the time. He can use his hands and be smarter and practice to avoid, you know, putting himself at risk. I think he's learned how to do that, definitely has, so that he can be available and not just want to play, but be available to play and, you know, using those contact reps when they're needed.
Jason,
Hey, Dave, you spent a few minutes there pleading for fan support Saturday. Your Twitter account retweeted a tweet that was critical of fans who left the Virginia Tech game early. After the game, you did thank the fans that stuck it out, but how much of a frustration was there with those who left early? And was that you that retweeted that?
That's funny. You know, it's funny. I was sitting there and I was like, I'm going to play an experiment here. Like if I hit, I like this, what's different than if I hit, I retweet this, you know, like what would happen? And so I just did it. And then this happened. So it's pretty comical to me. Going back 10 years, man, my first press conference after we beat Louisiana Tech, I thanked the fans for coming and then pleaded with the fans to stay. This isn't new that I want our stadium full until the end of the game. Like it's not. And so, you know, I don't understand why that upset the Twitterverse. I'm sorry that I upset the Twitterverse, you know, like don't do that. But, yeah, I mean, I'm here to support our team. I'm here to make our program better. I know it doesn't always look that way when we're not scoring enough points and we're trying, you know. But I was told we really want to win a championship at this school when I got here. And so I care deeply about this program. I care deeply about these players, and I'm going to fight for them, you know. And I think having a stadium that's full for 4 quarters helps you win. I think it helps you recruit too. You know, I do. I think when a recruit comes to your campus and he sees that you can sell out your games and they stay for 4 quarters and it was the coolest thing he's ever seen. That helps you recruit. And if you recruit better, you play better. And if you play better, you win more. So yeah, I think that's an important thing for everybody to understand. And if they want to go home, they can, but I'm still going to continue to fight to make our program better. As far as the retweet thing, again, that was a fun experiment that was a success or a failure, I guess, however you look at it. But, you know, I had a Saturday off. I was bored. I thought, you know, let's try something new here, but, all good, man. Excited to have, you know, a crazy, crazy stadium on Saturday night at 8 o'clock.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Rob,
You mentioned how long State and Wake have played each other these many years. And your time at NC State, it's really become almost a must-see game. It's really exciting. The games have been close lately. Your thoughts on how this rivalry has grown in your time and how big of a college football game it is?
Yeah, well, it's, you know, the second longest standing consecutive rivalry in the country. And I think the Wisconsin, Minnesota is the other one that might be in front of us. So it's a historical event for one. And both of us, Coach Clausen and I, have built our programs really from the ground up through developmental processes that we both believe in, and have created, you know, two longstanding programs with longstanding head coach, and both of us have done it the right way in recruiting and through development. I have a lot of respect for them. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a game that comes down to one possession almost every year, and it seems like whoever has the ball last comes away with it. And last year it came down to an onside kick that we felt like we got, and they felt like we didn't. You know, it's just one of those games, and we got them here in 2020. And so I think the last 12 were 6-6. It's a really, I don't know if you call it evenly matched, because, you know, however you guys look at that, you can figure that out. But it's two good football teams that are in the same state that I think do things the right way, and it's going to be a good game.
James,
Dave, you got back Trent Penix this past week. Just watching the tape back, your thoughts first week with him back in the lineup for you?
Yeah, it makes a difference. You know, it's a position that has produced a lot for us over the years. And Trent, as you guys know, brings a different element to the tight end room. You know, it's not just a guy that can catch, but he can run after the catch. He caught a little spacing route and turned it into a 10-yard gain after the catch, you know, and instead of just getting caught catching a ball and being tackled, he's a run after the catch threat. And to me, that's huge to have. You know, he's a guy that blocks hard, he plays hard, he can catch the football, he runs good routes, you know, so just adds another piece to the offense that allows certain things to, you know, get explosive at times, and another position room.
And kind of a similar question, you mentioned maybe getting Demi back this week. Is that some of the same stuff you're missing from having him? Like, are they kind of similar in what they can provide? Obviously different positions, but.
Yeah, well, I think so. You know, Demi's had a lot of explosive plays in his short number of reps. And so, you know, the serving size isn't maybe big, but the production out of it's been good, you know, really good. And so would like to have that back in the offense again. And he won't be able to play a whole game. We'd be rotating guys anyway, you know, Jordan and he and whoever else we end up putting back there, whether it's DeMarcus or Delbert, or Michael Allen. I just think adding another player to the mix that brings an explosive element to the game. He's hard to tackle one-on-one. He's physical. He's a really good blocker and pass protection too. So, you know, Demi brings some things, and hopefully we'll have him. I mean, I can't guarantee it, you know, but he is feeling better than he did the last couple of weeks.
Matt,
Yeah, Dave, obviously MJ and Terrell Timmons had big games Saturday. Are there some other freshmen that maybe you're having the luxury of redshirting because of the experience you have that have really kind of excited you guys in developmental practices so far this year?
Well, we're very excited about a lot of them. You know, I think Michael Allen, you got to see him run a little bit. Can't remember what game that was now, but he's got another gear, you know, and so Michael's a guy we're super excited about. You know, on defense, I think Dejon Thompson, you know, linebacker, Torn right. And those two guys work hard every day. Brandon Cleveland has gotten a lot better. on a defensive line. And so it's just a matter of time, you know, and obviously when your depth chart flips over, when guys leave, but they're going up against starters every day and getting to see them get better and better and better. And so those guys come to mind off the top of my head.